Tulane University in New Orleans is one of the most highly regarded selective research universities in the United States, with about 4,400 employees and 13,500 students. Charlie McMahon is the CIO of Tulane, and he's with us here today. We asked Charlie to come on stage and speak a little bit about what we've accomplished together. Charlie.
Michael.
Charlie, great to see you. Thanks for doing this.
Great to be here, thanks.
So in 2009, you joined Tulane University and you found an environment that needed some help and, like many of our customers, some challenges in the data center. Tell us what you found and a little bit about your goals and what you hope to achieve.
Well, sure. And although I started in 2009, any story about Tulane really has to go back to Katrina. So at the time Katrina happened, as the case is with many institutions, we had IT investments that needed to be made. But because of the economic realities associated with Katrina, we had to postpone those for longer than we would have liked. So I arrived in 2009 and got a clear message from my president that, somehow we've got to come in and do more with IT. And we were very quick to get to the place where we're not talking about doing more with less, but we're talking about doing the right thing to advance the institution's objectives. As a concrete example, we had a data center that was almost completely full, no floor space left. We were consuming about 90% of the available power. Mm-hmm. We had 4 different SAN infrastructures that we were supporting for various factions in our campus. So in the vein of doing more, we started consolidating and virtualizing servers. We collapsed from 4 SANs to 2. And if you look at our data center today, we have about half of our floor space freed up. We are running at less than 50% of the available power. We have literally, because of the partnership with Dell, because of this philosophy of doing more, we have literally extended the life of our data center for a decade.
That's in the existing space footprint that you had?
In the existing physical footprint, the existing power and cooling envelope, no changes to that infrastructure, just changes to the way we were implementing the technologies used to support the campus.
That's great.
Let me give you another example. We also were faced with a network that had not had material investments for some period of time. The majority of the fiber that we had in the ground was multi-mode fiber. Mm-hmm. And as everybody in the audience knows, that presents challenges with the high bandwidths that we need, particularly in a research environment. So with some help from our friends at Dell, we re-architected the network from below ground up. We've replaced all the network's equipment. And it's not simply that we've now have a new modern network that has literally 2 orders of magnitude more bandwidth than we had before, but we've prepared that network for the important things to our business objectives. For example, we are now, because we have this network, are able to implement a cloud-based SIP solution for our telephony. So all of our old PBXs are going to be retired. We are starting an experiment in the spring, to deliver entertainment content over our IP network. So we anticipate by next fall that we can pull the coax out of the dorm rooms and not be limited to just those students in the res halls in our ability to provide entertainment content. We can put it in the palm of their hand, on their desktop, or if they prefer, on their TV set.
Fiber to the dorm room. I bet some kids would like that.
They would like that, but I'll tell you, what they really like is wireless to the dorm room. And their expectation is that they will be able to consume educational content and entertainment content through our wireless network. And was not possible until we made these additional investments, put this equipment in with the help of Dell network engineers.
So what are some of the other solutions that Dell brought to the table, and how were those differentiated from others?
Well, so let me back up and start the story to answer that a little bit earlier in my history. My first material engagement with Dell was around buying some supercomputers. Now this was back in the day when nobody thought of Dell when they thought of supercomputers. So your team sat down with me and we said, you know, if we take some risks together, we can make a pretty nice supercomputer. In fact, we did that. Our first machine with you debuted at number 24 on the top 500 list. It's a real success story. And at that time, Dell was the place that I could go and sit down, and Dell could bring all of the different players to the table for us to meet an objective. As Dell has changed over the years, my relationship with Dell has changed, and now I view Dell as a place not that can simply bring the players to the table to solve my problems, but as a place that has the solutions for my problems. And I'll give you an example. We do a lot of medical research, life-saving research. We have faculty that do field work in sub-Saharan Africa. Using one of your products, we're able to securely project their data to their devices in the field in ways that just were not possible without your technologies. So that's a life-saving example of the things that we do, things that matter almost real time in the field, and be able to connect that researcher back to their data and back to their instruments and back to their colleagues in New Orleans.
Well, that's fantastic, Charlie. Thank you so much for doing this and sharing your story with the rest of the Dell World audience.
Thank you so much.